Okay, now uh, we looked pretty thoroughly at several different keys at the idea uh, of, of finding the progression, uh, knowing the progression from any major key source. Now there's other ways to look at it. One way, an additional way, is to look at the progression from the standpoint of the first chord, and that is the minor chord, so that the tonality now is in minor. Now, I think I read somewhere once that something like 30–40% of all songs are in minor. So finding songs in minor is extremely common. You know, there are just thousands and thousands of them. In flamenco music, you know, oftentimes you have sevillanas in minor, although they can be in major or in Phrygian. But there's in fact a minor sevillanas in the repertoire that Jason's posted. Farruca is another example where the tonality is minor. And you can even have minor tangos and bulerías. So the thing is that in this perspective, the point of view is from the minor being the tonic, or the home base, or the center of the universe, so to speak. Now, everything is really the same in a sense. If we look at A minor, which is what we've been doing this mostly in, A minor to G to F to E, then you'll note that the A minor is the relative minor of the C. We've talked about that before. Okay, so the chords and their structure are all the same, whether you're looking at it from the standpoint of the major or whether you're looking at the standpoint of the minor. The A chord is a minor 7. The G is a major or a dominant. The F is a major or major 7, or sometimes a dominant. And the E is a major or dominant. So that's all the same, because the A natural minor scale is identical in construction to the C major scale, in the sense that all of the notes are the same. They're just reordered. Instead of starting on C and going C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, you're starting on A and going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? So, but the perspective has changed, and perspective, to give you an example of how you can have the same thing and have different viewpoints of it, see it entirely different, is think of going to a football game, and one spectator's in the end zone. That person's seeing the game coming towards him and then back away from him, and towards him and back away from him as the teams move up and down the field. Now, think of another person sitting on the 50-yard line. Well, that person is seeing the two teams go up and down the field by going back and forth, left to right and right to left. So they would describe the way the teams move entirely different. Their perspective is what's different. The teams on the field are doing exactly the same thing. And it's the same thing here. The perspective is now switched to where the one is not major, the one is the minor. Okay, so if A is the 1, then we're going back down the scale 1, 7, 6, 5, as opposed to 4, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3. That was the view of major. The 6 chord to the 5 chord to the 4 chord to the 3 chord altered into a major or dominant. Now the A is the 1 chord, and we're going backwards down the scale. So 1, 7, 6, 5, and the 5 is now the 5 isn't altered. It is. Excuse me. It's still the same construction, identical. Now, a little more technical view. It's really 1 to flat 7 to flat 6 to 5. Okay. The other keys that we looked at it being in G sharp, so that would be the 1. F sharp would be the flat 7. E would be the 4, and this E flat or D sharp would be the 5. We looked at it in C sharp minor, so C sharp would be the 1. B would be the flat 7. A would be the flat 6, and G sharp major or dominant or flat 9 would be the 5. So 1, 7, 6, 5. Now, I just said 1, 7, 6, 5. A lot of times when you're in this minor, you just know that it's flat 7 and flat 6. So sometimes if you don't say them, it's just implied. So sometimes it's just easier to say 1, 7, 6, 5. But I hope you can see the difference here is simply a question of perspective in terms of the way the chord progression is constructed, starting on any minor chord and then going down a whole step, down a whole step, down a half step, playing the first chord as minor, the next one is major, the next one is major, and the last one is major, is the same. You go up or down. Okay. The difference is how you're orienting to the progression from the standpoint of the major or from the standpoint of the minor being the tonic.